Gee, so hello, salam, namaste, and sat sri akal, and welcome to yet another episode of What's Your Story by Madhavi. I'm truly blessed today to have a singer, a classical singer, onto my show who has rather been a custodian of Indian classical Drupad singing. And yes, he is none other than the world renowned Hindustani classical singing maestro Padmashri Ustad Waisfuddin Dagar ji. And he's right in front of me. And sir, I welcome you to my show. Thank you so much, sir, for accepting my invitation. और
Yeah,
आपका स्वागत है
yeah. My name is Faiyaz Dagar.
फयाज वासिफुद्दीन दागर
Yeah,
जी.
it's long. Yeah,
No, it's wrong. जी. So, up, how are you feeling today, sir?
I'm feeling good, fine.
Okay.
These days, there's these type of communications a lot. So I had one session in early in the day. Now
Yeah,
this is the second session. I'm happy.
great. So, before I start the session, I would like to make an honest confession that I'm nowhere close to this kind of singing. But, in fact, I'll be representing this section who loves to listen but has a very less knowledge about this art. सो मुझसे अगर कोई गलती हो जाए तो प्लीज मुझे माफ कीजिएगा. So I would like to know that music is like a worship, and from the childhood, I have heard that when you were just 5 years old, you started आपने अपनी तालीम शुरू करी
Yeah.
आपके पापा के साथ. तो उसके बारे में हमें प्लीज कुछ बताइए.
Actually, yeah, we start very early, and because we give the atmosphere at home to the child, so that they get to understand how do they have to behave, how do they have to sit. It's more of the atmosphere, and of course what your mother say you do, what your father does you do.
Mm-hmm.
So here my uncle was also doing the Dagar brothers. They were famous
Okay,
Dagar
yes,
brothers, and in
yes,
my
yes.
previous generation there were 7 8 performers also.
जी, जी.
So we were looking at these people only, and so the atmosphere was there. So so I was initiated, and there is a recording also in 19 when I was 3 or 4 year old. Somebody had recorded. So my uncle had taught me one composition. Whenever there was some people would come, they will say, "Oh, our child is also doing." So what a child wants, center of attraction. I was pulled in the middle of the in the living room, and their guests, and then say, "Okay, beta, आप सुनाइए क्या आपको क्या याद है?" Something like that. So I used to sing. So then, so this is you are encouraged from the beginning that, oh, you are doing well, good, you are good, and my mother was always saying that, yeah, you have to become what your father is doing, your uncles are doing, you have to do that and all. So it was preset. It was getting set in my mind that you have to do this,
जी.
and then you keep on doing it, and then you get some interesting lessons from the teacher. It all depends on the teacher or the guru, how he or she gives the lesson, so that it becomes a great interest for the child, so that you can pursue that. So it was very interesting that, thank God, I was my father and uncle used to thank God that I was interested in music from the beginning. So it's a God blessing also that what has been coming for the centuries, and I was also interested in music. So we were very happy. And what happens that there's great expectations from
Hmm.
us,
Hmm.
because where people have heard me, my father, my uncle, my
Hmm.
up to my grandfather,
Hmm.
in one of the One of the place in Rajasthan, somebody came with white eyelashes and white, means totally, he was totally white. And he said that, I have heard your great grandfather. He was, it was, you can imagine that what had it been.
Huh.
So then there's greater expectations. Then by age of 8 or 9, you get little serious lessons, and then the timing of your practice also increases, because it is also in your capacity how much you can do. If you'll make a child to sing for 2 hours or so, so then you know what means, he will get tired and get bored. So it
Yes.
was it was giving gradually and gradually. So they used to do the practice, and we were given one note, which is sa re ga ma pa dha ni sa, just so that sa was given. So we were just repeating that sa, and that sa was also falling here and there. But again, they will wake you up, that, oh nahi, nahi, beta, chal chal, thoda sa gao. And then they knew that when to release the child, and we were released and we were taught like this. And then some interesting lessons also came along, and then we got into music, and the timing of the lessons and the practice also increased. So first it used to be 15, 20 minutes and half an hour, then it became sort of 1 hour or plus, and then it became furthermore 1 2 hours. Then at point of time, in middle of my teenage, then it used to be 4 or 5 hours after school. And we used to come get one lesson, and in the night also there was one more lesson. And on Saturdays and Sundays,
Mhm.
morning practice used to be there. So it used to it increased, and at one point it was also about 8 9 hours I was spending to do the
रियाज के
practice.
लिए जी।
हाँ, रियाज के लिए इतना लंबा चल जाता था.
तो अभी आप
तो
कितने वक्त तक रियाज करते हैं आज के समय में?
अभी कम से कम एक मतलब 1.5 2 घंटा तो चला ही जाता है. It is only for you, for your
हम्म,
own self.
हम्म,
Otherwise I'm teaching right through about 6 7 hours I teach or more.
हम्म, हम्म,
So that is also music. But
या
Riyaz is something to improve your musicalities, musical abilities. What is not good, you have to improve that. So
जी
that is the work of Riyaz. That you have to improve or increase things what you have not done, what you have to do more
हम्म।
in coming times. So this is what you do in Riyaz.
ओके सो
Then you gain knowledge. It's just like yeah. What was your question? Yeah.
like when you were a small kid, what about schooling? When you where you were born, आपको
Uh,
पढ़ाई की तरफ रुचि और वो सब वो कैसे
yeah,
आप
of course you have to study, you have to learn, but I was not so good in studies. So then it was then I would say that I had to concentrate in this, because I was not too good in my studies.
So
So
you were born in Delhi.
yes, I'm born in Delhi.
Okay. Then so you started school life से कुछ ऐसा किस्सा कि जब आपने कुछ towards singing की तरफ रुचि दिखाई हो और क्लास में आपको डांट पड़ी हो कभी कुछ ऐसा हुआ
Fortunately,
फर्स्ट
of
क्लास
course, it's a tendency in schools. Like I was studying in one school. There was a
देखिए नाम भी
small
नहीं याद
small
है
school, La Montessori school, and then I went to another school that was big also. That is Gyan Bharati. I went there, and so it was very different experiences in both the schools. And of course, the common man, the common people, they are always laughing at classical music,
of course
and uh,
they
and
don't understand
just
actually
these young boys and all this. What do they have to talk about music? Because they always had this Bollywood song. It
हाँ
used to be film songs, not Bollywood. Now Bollywood is fairly new. Film songs were was talked. and people were so. In the beginning, in my other school, I was almost not showing that what am I doing and what not I'm doing. They knew a bit, but I had never tried to show that I'm
Explain.
doing
Yeah.
doing classical music, and it was almost nothing for them. क्या है ये सब कुछ क्या है? It was nothing. But when I went to this other school, Gyan Bharati school, the principal took me in the school because he was as I told you, I was not good in studies,
Hmm.
so he gave me admission, but at the same time he said that I want that you should do your practice properly. It was the former principal of modern school, Dr. Aman Kapoor. So he said that हम आपको एडमिशन तो दे रहे हैं, लेकिन आपको पढ़ाई तो करनी पड़ेगी, लेकिन म्यूजिक भी अच्छी तरीके से करना पड़ेगा.
हाँ.
So then in that school, all the teachers also supported me a lot, and also my friends were also, they knew that I'm doing something, but they did not have a clue that what it was,
Exactly.
what is it's going to do. So one of my teacher told me that Vasif, you know that how lucky you are?
जी.
I said, Why? Because you know as you are struggling in academics and all these things, so then
हाँ.
you are surprised at how come she's saying that how lucky I am.
हाँ,
So
yes.
then you know how lucky you are. I said that no,
Because
ma'am,
you
tell
know
me.
where you are going, you know
Yeah,
your
she said
दिशा.
that. Yeah,
आपको
yeah, she
मालूम
said
है
that
ना वो.
you know. Yeah,
हम्म.
you know what you have to do, but your rest of your friends, they don't know.
They don't know.
They don't know after 10 plus 2 what is plus 2, where are they going to go,
Hmm.
what is their desire, and how they will have to mold their desire to the marks they have got,
Yes.
and then everything will be different for them.
Hmm.
So this school supported Gyan Bharati supported me, and I have every in
आप
all
बस
the functions
डांस
I was called to give little performance, and I
परफॉर्म.
would used to give my performance only in Drupad only. And
By 10 years of age, you were already performing on the stage, I guess.
yeah, sort of. I was
I think first performance you gave was with your papa, right?
oh, it was in front of my father. I didn't perform with him. I used
जी.
to play tanpura. If you have seen some pictures, there's one there's
Yes,
instrument
yes,
which stands
yes,
behind the performer.
yes.
So this is drone, lute, and means the tanpura.
Mhm.
So most of the people, they call it sitar. Whatever the string instrument, they say sitar. It's not sitar, it's tanpura. So I used
कानपुर.
to play with tanpura with my father and uncle,
जी.
and we used to play tanpura for hours and hours to do my own practice also.
Mhm.
So my first performance came when I was 20, and my father was alive,
जी.
and then he passed away after not even 2 months. In one and a half month, he was not with us. So he
उनसे
was he
जाने
was very happy that he initiated me and he had put me on stage. And my uncle was my big father. And my uncle protected me. He taught me so much. So he was my big father. I lost my father, but I lost my father when I lost my uncle. It was so
का.
much of that.
जी. तो जब आप इस तरफ मुड़ चुके थे तब आपके कजन ब्रदर्स जो भी होंगे या आपकी जॉइंट फैमिली होगी
Hmm.
वो सब क्या कर रहे थे वो कैसे आपको देखते थे और
Oh,
are they also into this profession they
some
also
of them, some of them were in this, and quite a few of them were not in this music. So they knew I will not come with them. I'll not go with them, for some other type of funds and all. So they also didn't disturb, because my uncle was very strict with all of them. He used to say that you please, you may go, but he will be here and he will do his practice. So you just don't bother him, don't disturb him. So all these things were there. So yeah, at times I also felt that I should go there sometimes, and spent some time. But their struggle had been little different, and my struggle had been little different.
Mm.
So I'm happy that I have spent my that those those hours in music, because after the death of my father, and then I lost my uncle after 5 years.
Right.
So that has really helped me.
Mm.
So I don't have regret that I have not done. But I used to play cricket. I used to play badminton,
जी.
or whatever was the season in colony. I used to play cricket also, and football also. So I was doing all these type of things also, and
Mm.
I was doing music also.
Mm.
So when I was 17 or so, 17, 18, I was one new college student came to learn from my father and uncle, and
Mm.
my father told me that, okay, you teach him.
अच्छा.
Yeah, I was given the task. So
Mm.
after coming back from school,
Mm.
even before that, I was after coming back from school, I used to after food, uh, just those days, you hardly take rest or something. I used to go
हाँ,
and play.
कंट्रोल होता
So
है.
he used to come around 5 or so.
Mm.
So when it was getting late or something more, I wanted to play. I used to take him along. That,
Mm.
okay, you also play. It's good for you also, like something like that. So I used to take him.
हाँ.
That I was playing football or cricket, whatever it is. I,
Mm.
I, after this, I will go and teach you
हाँ,
also. That's
वो
something
पढ़ा
like
के
that.
ओह!
Yeah, yeah. So ऐसे ही ले जाता था मैं उसको, वो भी करता था.
जी, बट एक और बात पूछना चाहूंगी, क्या चटपटे, चटनी, समोसे और जो सब खट्टी चीजें जो खाते थे लोग, क्या इन सब चीजों से आप अलग रहते थे खाने से ताकि आपकी आवाज पर असर ना पड़े?
मैं आइसक्रीम भी खाता था, और चटनी भी खाता था, और सब चटपटी अचार वगैरह सब कुछ खाता था. मैंने थोड़ा सा सुना था कि
नहीं पता।
नहीं, वो मेरे फादर ने मुझसे कहा. मैंने my uncle was very particular,
जी.
and other uncles were also very particular about this thing. So I also started taking care of, that, oh, I will not take this, and I will not take the achar and all. So my father told me that you don't make your throat so delicate that it is you will find it difficult to survive, because you will not get your conditions everywhere. It's very important to have, means, let go, and just let your throat be rough and tough. That will be good. So I've been treating my throat like this only. I take ice cream also, but after some time, I realize that sometimes too sour just disturbs, bother my throat if it is too sour. So, but I take achar and all, but taking some amla if it is too sour or something of that sort. So, like
जी.
kala khatta or something of that sort, it's difficult for me to take this type of things. But
जी.
rest,
You
is
you
fine. I take. So it had been like this only.
yes. So, sir, you're blessed with the voice. You're blessed with the
You
sur.
are also blessed with the voice, huh?
नहीं, पर एक सुर, एक ताल, एक रिदम, एक नोट्स,
Hmm.
ये सब मिलाकर एक संगीत बनता है, एक लय बनती है. तो मैं ये जानना चाहूंगी सीरियसली, ध्रुपद सिंगिंग क्लासिकल फॉर्म क्या है?
Drupad, जो है, it's oldest form of Indian classical music.
जी.
One of the older in the world and oldest in India.
जी.
So it has its roots from Samved. सामवेद जो है वो पूरा डेडिकेटेड है संगीत के लिए. 4 वेद है:
हम्म.
ऋग्वेद, यजुर्वेद, अथर्ववेद और सामवेद.
जी.
Samved is dedicated to music,
जी.
and there is much more, means, in there is much more of because whenever you hear ऋग्वेद अगर सुनते हैं हम ऋग्वेद के उच्चारण द द द द द द द द द द द द द द ऐसे ही 3 स्वरों पे ही सब कुछ आधारित रहता है लेकिन सामवेद में हमको थोड़े और भी स्वर मिल जाते हैं द द द द द द द द द द द द द द so there we have more notes and there is more of breath control also in it जिसमें how long you can sustain, how long you can pull. So when you are because
About the
singing,
passage.
pardon?
It's about the passage you create
Yeah,
in
yeah,
taking volumes or the pitch.
yeah. Means also means going breathless and means how much you can speak say and how many shlokas you can say.
Yeah.
So Dhruv Pad is Dhruv like the polar star,
Huh.
Dhruv Tara,
Dhruv Tara.
and Pad is the text of the poetry because it's a spiritual music. It
जी.
is always in the praise of God and goddesses over all the texts or Sufi saints or saints.
जी.
So this is
So
always in praise
does
of
it
that.
does it really connect our souls
Of
with
course, when you
meditation?
talk about music, you can't sing, you can't have music soulless music. You have to add soul to it. What does music have? संगीत में क्या है? संगीत में सुर है, लय है,
है
शांति है, शांति भी मिलती है. सुर लय शांति हम उसको परफेक्ट करने की कोशिश करते हैं क्योंकि हम अभ्यास करते हैं रियाज करते हैं और फिर प्योरिटी आती है तभी हम प्योरिटी की वजह से संगीत में जाते हैं कभी प्योरिटी हमको बहुत देर बाद मिलती है तो इट इज फाइव पिच फॉर स्वर pulse rate matters a lot
beat.
because we are not digital people and our pulse rate changes from place to place moment to moment.
Mm. Mm.
So pulse rate because someday you are able to means your breath control is so well, you are able to speak so much so well,
Yes.
and in anchoring also you must have realized
Yes. Yes. Yes.
someday your pulse rate is not in your control, so things doesn't come in control of
That
you.
great. Yes.
So
Mm.
rhythm is with the pulse.
Mm.
Pitch, pulse, pause. Pause is like shanti. You get when you do music, it is you get the peace some sort of peace with any kind of music, whatever music it is. Pitch, pulse, pause.
Mm.
We try to perfect it. Pitch, pulse, pause, perfect. And the purity of sound. Because music hits but doesn't hurt. If the
Yes.
music hurts, it's not a good music.
जैसे
मतलब जैसे कुछ कुछ अजीब सा ही म्यूजिक सुनने को आ जाता है तो नहीं अच्छा लगता ना बहुत सारा.
आज की म्यूजिक जैसे हम रिमिक्सेस करते हैं इंस्टेड हम जो क्लासिकल है वो भी आज रिमिक्सेस हो रहे हैं
हम्म.
कभी आपने ये नहीं सोचा कि ध्रुपद को एक नया फॉर्म देना चाहिए आज की जनरेशन के लिए
We are we our family is proud to be orthodox. If we have maintained something for centuries,
सेंचुरीज यस
so why shall we change it? It is beautiful. This is why we are doing it. क्यों बदले भाई? और उसके अंदर अगर खूबसूरती नहीं होती, उसके अंदर जान नहीं होती, उसमें लाइफ नहीं होती, तो how would have we pursued it? उसके अंदर कुछ है. कोई एक बोरिंग चीज पे आप कितना समय बिता सकते हैं? 1 घंटा, 2 घंटा, 3 घंटा, एक हफ्ता, एक महीना, 20 पीढ़ी, 20 generations on something निरस जिसके अंदर रस ही नहीं है. How can we do? So there is some beauty in it. So this is why we are preserving it. This is why we are maintaining it. और लोगों को क्लासिकल से ना वो घबराहट होती है लोगों.
हाँ मैं
लोग
वही
सोचते
बोल
हैं क्लासिकल जो है वो हमको नहीं समझ आएगा. अरे भैया क्लासिकलिटी सब चीजों में है. इट एग्जिस्ट इन एवरीथिंग. अब क्लासिकल फोक भी तो है. फोक को तो क्लासिकल नहीं बोलते. तो क्लासिकल फोक भी है. क्लासिकल हिंदी गाने भी हैं. हिंदी गाने जो है पुराने वाले गाने के आज तक याद रहते हैं.
जरूर है
आजकल आज तक भी याद रहते हैं. सब लोग सुनते हैं. कुछ यंगस्टर्स को जरूर बोरिंग लगता होगा ये क्यों सुने जा रहे हैं. लेकिन रीमिक्स होके भी आप सुन रहे हैं उसको. रीमिक्स हो गए तो अब उन लोगों ने ही उन लोगों को वो किया है. द प्रॉब्लम इज नॉट द यंगेस्ट और यंगस्टर्स.
हाँ
The problem is the providers.
Hmm.
They are little elder than the teenagers and all,
Mhm.
or the college goers, or people who are studying medical and all. They are elder than them.
Yes.
They are providing.
Hmm.
They are providing on the net or everywhere. They are the providers. So they have, this is their task. उनको करना चाहिए. उनको realize करना चाहिए कि हम क्या दे रहे हैं youngsters को. They
Hmm.
are getting it so easily on the
Absolutely.
so this is why they will opt
It's
for
a
it.
platter for them. It's an
Yeah,
easy.
so this is I would not just criticize the youngsters, but I will talk about these providers. Why are they giving such things? Why are they talking classical से तो बोर हो जाता है, ये हो जाता है. बोर क्यों हो जाता है भाई? Because you are you have mental block. This is why you are not able
Are
to get it.
attuned that way that वो mental block सच में है कि
हाँ, वो
classical good.
क्लासिक कहना चाहते हैं, क्लासिकल कहते ही बुढ़ा हो जाता है. What is the main difference between classic and classical?
Hmm.
So one has to remove that block. अच्छा,
It is the way.
let me finish. Classicality exists in every subject.
हाँ.
अब हम 10+2 के बाद जो जो हम सेलेक्ट कर लेंगे +2 में अपने सब्जेक्ट, अपना डायरेक्शन सेलेक्ट कर लेते हैं.
Hmm.
Then we go for +3. So
Hmm.
we go further refinement in our selected subject. If
Correct.
you are able to do plus 3 +4 plus 2 all these things,
Hmm.
then we can do up to PhD also in our selected subject.
Correct.
So broadening of these narrow lines is a classical act.
जी.
जो ज्योतिषी है, जो हाथ पढ़ता है, उसको पता चल जाता है, जो वो ब्रॉडवे से भी ज्यादा ब्रॉड देख सकता है उसको, हमारी ये हाथ की रेखाओं को, और बता देगा कि यहाँ पे आप थोड़ी दिन बाद आप लुढ़क जाओगे, इधर सही चलोगे, ये रास्ता सही मिलेगा, ये हो जाएगा. वो बोलते हैं because they
जी.
have studied, so they know how to. This widening of these narrow lanes on narrow lines is a classical act, and this is the study. My music is my garden,
Hmm.
and my concert or my presentation is a flower bouquet,
Wow.
guldasta. I select the best plants. When you are asked to give presentation, what do? You don't use any, you try your level best not to use any slang word.
Of
You
course.
try to go for very, very particular, very authentic, very nice and sophisticated words. You select those words in your presentation. So
जी.
you're yourself when you come into presentation of anything, be it any subject.
जी.
So you tend to give the classical examples,
Hmm.
to your colleagues or to the people who you want to give the presentation.
Hmm.
So the classicality exists within every subject, and the most classical thing is your own body.
Hmm.
We are so different and so similar at the same time. हम सब एक जैसे ही लगते हैं, और फिर भी हम एक दूसरे से कितने अलग हैं. We are blessed with full set, ear, nose, throat, and everything is there. And what कितने
वो
कितने हम लोग
अलग बनाती
कितने
है.
अलग है.
Hmm.
We are
बिल्कुल.
similar yet so different. Yet so different. We are different yet so similar. So
जी.
what the Srishti or what the source has done, how much of variations it has produced, and there is never a repeat of any human being.
Yes. Absolutely.
किसी का रिपीट ही नहीं हुआ, तो फिर कहाँ से कहाँ कौन सा काम हो रहा है भाई.
लेकिन कई बार हमें लगता है कि हमें ये चेहरा पहचाना हुआ है, इसके जैसे लगता है, या कभी-कभी सिमिलैरिटीज मिलती हैं.
तो माँ बाप से तो मिलते ही है ना.
हम्म.
मैं माँ के लिए मैंने एक वो पंक्ति लिखी है. एक पंक्ति नहीं, थोड़ा वो है. हम सब उसके जैसे हैं,
हम्म.
पर उसके जैसा कोई नहीं.
बिल्कुल.
बच्चों की तरफ से बोल रहे हैं.
जी जी
हम
जी.
सब उसके जैसे हैं, पर उसके जैसा कोई नहीं. झलक तो सब में आती है, पर फलक में ऐसा कोई नहीं.
वाह. वेरी नाइस. वेरी नाइस. बिल्कुल.
तो
माँ के
माँ से
जैसे
हम
तो.
मिलते हैं. माँ से अगर हमारी शक्ल नहीं मिलती, हमारी बॉडी नहीं मिलती, तो आवाज मिल जाती.
बिल्कुल. बिल्कुल.
आवाज नहीं मिलती, वो नहीं मिलती, तो किसी की आंख मिल जाती है. किसी का आचरण मिल जाता है, उसके एटिकेट्स उस माँ की जैसे हो जाते हैं,
जी।
तो कहीं ना कहीं तो झलक जरूर आ जाती है ना। तो
जी।
वन वन मोर थिंग इज द एक्नॉलेजमेंट फ्रॉम द यंगस्टर्स। हम एक्नॉलेज करना भूल गए।
बिल्कुल।
हम एक्नॉलेज करना भूल, इतनी सब चीजें इतनी उपलब्ध हो गई, इतनी सब कुछ हमारे हाथ में आ गई कि हम भूल ही गए कि कितनी मुश्किल से सब कुछ क्रिएट किया गया है। सर्किट टेबल है या बल्ब है या क्या, कितनी मुश्किल से सब हमारे हाथ में आया है। आज हर आदमी फोटोग्राफर बना हुआ है। पहले तो कितना मुश्किल होता था एक एक फोकस करना, लेंस को लगाना उस कैमरे में, फिर उसके बाद फिल्म में कौन सी सेंसिटिविटी है इस फिल्म की, कौन सा अपर्चर है, कौन सी स्पीड चाहिए, क्या करना है।
हम्म।
इट इट यूज्ड टू बी सो मच। पहले की फोटोग्राफ्स में हम लोग को मेगापिक्सल्स किसी को पता ही नहीं थे, इतने अच्छे आ जाते थे। आज जो है मेगापिक्सल्स देखते रहते, 5 मेगापिक्सल, 20 मेगापिक्सल, 16
ब्लैक
जो
एंड
भी।
व्हाइट का जमाना छोड़ के कलर्ड में आ गए हैं वो सब, वो याद नहीं है लोगों को।
हम्म।
I remember when I was very small, तब बैजू बावरा मूवी में भारत भूषण जी ने when
हम्म।
there was a song,
हम्म।
तब मुझे लगा था कि हाँ ये कुछ अलग टाइप की सिंगिंग है। when I was very small because the ears used to catch a different kind of a volume, a pitch और सुर जो भी कहिए, तो वो
हम्म।
अलग ही लगा था। एंड बोलते हैं कि इस सिंगिंग में इतनी पावर है कि चीजों को हिला भी सकती है।
बिल्कुल।
आप मानते हैं इस बात को?
हाँ, हमारी मान्यता यही है।
तो फिर इसी बात पे कुछ सुनाइए।
इसी बात पे सुनाए।
जी हाँ।
कैसे, हिलाने वाला सुनाए या बिल्कुल
गाने वाला सुनाइए।
हिलाने वाला सुनाए? अच्छा, हिलाने के लिए तो हल्का सा भी
हाँ, वो तो खो जाने के लिए हो गया।
वाइब्रेशंस रिमेन द वाइब्रेशन। अब वाइब्रेशन कब वाइब्रेंट हो जाते हैं?
हाँ,
सा कौन सा सुनाओ?
आप अपना परफॉर्मेंस।
अच्छा, एक वो है, शिव 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 कैलाश शिव 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 शंभो पति गंगा ओ पति। अब लोग तो इससे भी हिल जाते हैं।
क्योंकि
हाँ,
इसमें
इससे 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 भी हिल जाते हैं लोग, तो इससे भी वो हो जाते हैं कि अब शिव का
बात
वो है।
ध्यान से समझना पड़ेगा कि असली में एक, आप जो बोल रहे हैं कि बहती गंगा, वो जो शब्द हैं वो गाने में कैसे घुल मिल गए, जो ध्वनि है, जो सुर, एकदम इट्स मर्जिंग, यू
इसमें
नीड।
अब ये एक तो ये
अर्थ हो
शिव
गया।
शिव 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 अब यही है, शिव जीव 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 शिव शंकर आदिदेव शंभु भोलानाथ योगी महादेव शिव 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 शंकर शंकर आदिदेव आदि आदिदेव शंभु भोलानाथ भोलानाथ नाथ शिव 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 शंकर शिव शंकर जोगर जो जोगर हरि देव हरि हरि देव हरि हरि देव शिव 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 जी। अब वही शिव है।
वाह, आदि अनंत शिव।
एक वो डिफरेंट है, वो शिव 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 शंभु भोलानाथ योगी महादेव। अब ये तांडव है। और दूसरी तरफ शिव का दूसरा रूप है, हम सब बहुरूपी हैं।
बिल्कुल।
हम सब बहुरूपी हैं,
जी।
लेकिन हमको कहते हुए घबराहट होती है कि हम बहुरूपी हैं, लेकिन हम सब बहुरूपी हैं। अब शिव को कौन क्या परसीव कर रहा है, उसी टेक्स्ट को कौन किस तरीके से परसीव कर रहा है, उसको कैसे समझ रहा है,
हम्म,
वो उसका रिएक्शन उसके उसके अकॉर्डिंग होता है।
हम्म,
शिव 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 कह रहे। एक शेर जो है अपने बच्चों को भी मुंह से उठाता है, और एक शेर जो है अपने मुंह से ही शिकार करता है।
बिल्कुल।
तो वो किस तरीके से उसको पकड़ रहा है,
हम्म, हम्म,
when there is care, और क्या
अटेंशन।
संतुलन चाहिए, कौन से बैलेंस के साथ उसको पकड़ना है, कौन से बैलेंस से कितना वो एंगल लेके उसको शिकार कैसे करना है, कहाँ से डाइव मार के where he can really get hold of this antelope.
राइट।
तो it depends कि वो किस टाइम हम क्या चीज को इस्तेमाल कर रहे हैं। अब ये so what is the natural instrument? Yes,
आपकी
your voice, our voice. But
आवाज।
outside our body, what is the natural instrument?
आपके
हमारे बॉडी से बाहर।
आपके कान जो आप सुन रहे हैं
नहीं,
जो ध्वनि।
तो कान तो साथ में, बॉडी के बाहर कहाँ है, वो
हम्म,
निकले हुए बाहर है, लेकिन बॉडी के साथ ही है, आउटसाइड द बॉडी, इट्स अ थिंग।
ले अभी।
लय तो वो बॉडी के साथ ही है, लय तो कहीं और थोड़ी तलाश करते, हम ही उसको परसीव करते हैं। आई विल कट इट शॉर्ट। शंख,
ओके।
शंख को काटना पड़ता है, लेकिन बहुत सारे शंख नेचुरली साउंड करते हैं।
ओके।
वैसे बैम्बूज से भी आवाज आती है, बैम्बूज व्हेन द
हम्म,
एयर ब्रशेस द बैम्बूज द साउंड कम्स।
राइट।
नेचुरल एक बैम्बू भी हो गया, लेकिन उसके अंदर जब होल 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 कर देते हैं तब उसमें से म्यूजिकल, तब वो म्यूजिकल इंस्ट्रूमेंट बनता है। वरना शंख इज अ नेचुरल इंस्ट्रूमेंट। और शंख में से किसकी आवाज आती है, बहुत बहुत ऑस्पिशियस साउंड मानते हैं हम लोग शंख की आवाज को। बहुत सारी चीजें जब शुरू करते हैं।
सॉरी, आपका वीडियो बहुत वैसे चल रहा है, इट्स लुकिंग वेरी फास्ट।
क्या सही नहीं चल रहा वीडियो?
नो 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 नो।
क्या हो गया? इज इट फाइन नाउ? ओके।
या
तो conch is a natural instrument. Our body, our voice is a natural instrument. So
जी।
our body is an
आपके
instrument created by God. Yeah.
जी।
And this instrument is instrumental in making all the instrument. Our body is an instrument, and this is instrumental in making all the instrument. Whatever you see apart from nature. अब तो नेचर को भी हम परेशान कर देते हैं, आम भी अपने मन चाही साइज का बना लेते हैं।
हाँ। वो बोलते हैं कि एक चुप्पी में भी एक सादगी से एक सुर होता है, अगर आप ध्यान से सुने तो वो सुनाई देता है। जब शांति होती है तब भी आपको कुछ ना कुछ सुनाई देगा।
There is sound in silence.
दे साउंड इन साइलेंस, दैट्स व्हाट दे कॉल। बट सर ये बताइए कि जब आपको पद्मश्री अवार्ड मिला तब आप कैसा
कोई पद्मश्री लेके कोई दुखी होता है? I lost your video. Hello? Where are you? Hello? I've lost your video. Just check yourself. Yeah. Hello? Hello, hello, hello. Are there some people who are watching? If they can send me some message so that I can. Okay, I stop again and I will just restart.